Hi, everybody. Adam Bricker here, live with Paula Oleska for Upgrade Your Brain, how baby boomers can skyrocket their memory. Paula, thanks for being on today.
Great to be on with you, Adam. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I know that there's a lot of things that people don't know about the brain and that people don't know about memory. So we're going to go over some of those things today, but I want to let everybody know this is a preview. It's a preview for a course that Paula is delivering. And we're going to get to the details on the course in a couple of minutes. But let's talk just about memory and what happens to it and who would actually need to upgrade their memory. So, Paula, does memory fade over time?
Well, that's what people think. And many people are afraid it's going to fade. Many people are afraid they're going to lose it. And every little, what we call memory lapse, causes a panic because they think, oh, I'm just going to downhill from here. They watched other people deteriorate and losing their memory. So there is a widespread fear, as far as I observed, of people who are aging and thinking like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my mind?
And that's a real concern for people. What was the word you said was anxiety?
That's right. Or even a panic, but definitely anxiety, uh, because as I said, many people, even when they have I can't remember this movie. I can't remember my friend's name. I can't remember where I put my keys. There are lots of jokes about that, but there is a real underlying anxiety behind that. And I've seen that many times.
So, is this a real thing that gets more pronounced as we get older?
Well, yes and no. So there is a whole other understanding of what memory is and how it works and why people deteriorate as they get older. So I'll be going into that in detail in my program, which is called Memory Boosters for Baby Boomers. It's open to people who are not baby boomers as well, but I think baby boomer is a really good generation because I'm of that group. And I know that many people just have those concerns. So memory is not what people think it is, and your brain is not what the brain is not what most people think it is. And we'll be going in great detail into that in the program, so that I think the first step to understanding how to counteract that deterioration or perceived deterioration is that understanding what actually happens and how your memory works and how your brain works.
Brilliant. So we start with what we always start in solutions, problem solving, which is awareness. So
That's
how do
right.
you fix the brain? How do you fix your memory? How do you improve your memory if you don't know what it is? So you start your course with explaining to people actually what memory is and how the brain works. And then what else could they expect to get out of your course? What would be next?
So once you understand how your brain works and what memory actually is, I'll be teaching very specific tools and techniques that are very easy to use. And if you now learn how to use them, you can do literally 5 to 10 minutes a day. And it's very easy to incorporate that into anybody's day. It's not like you have to change clothes and go to the gym or, put on your meditation glasses and whatever, had take half an hour to sit quietly. These are very simple things. Personally, I use them every day because why not? I get confused like everybody else. I get stressed like everybody else, but I don't stay there because I use these tools to help myself. So from my own experience and also having worked with hundreds of people, if not thousands, I know that these techniques work because I see that every day. So I'm very excited that I can share them in this very concise format. And then once the person takes the course, they will have a permanent toolkit that can use continuously for the rest of their lives. Sometimes people get really scared when they hear for the rest of your life. But this is, you have to eat every day. You have to sleep every night. There are other things you just have to do. You need to brush your teeth. You need to wash your hands. You need to do a couple of things or a few things to keep your brain intact, regardless of your age. So it's not this awesome, awful, frightening addition. It's just like part of your hygiene, your hand hygiene, your brain hygiene. It's all on the same level.
So let me see if I understand that right. If somebody takes your course, they're going to get a program that would be like mental hygiene to keep their brain fresh, their memory strong, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes a day. And I guess it doesn't take a lot of effort, does it?
No, that's the beauty of it, because personally, I don't like things that take a lot of effort unless I purposefully use them. Like, I like certain types of workouts that take effort because I like that for that particular purpose. But things that make you feel good and keep your brain going, I want to do that without effort. So this is one of the advantages of learning these techniques, and this is actually my specialty: fast, effortless results in many areas. And this one is going to be focused on area of memory. So no effort, just 5 to 10 minutes a day, and a new understanding of why you're going to use these particular activities.
All right, you guys are hearing it right here with Paula Oleska, and she's going to have a course that starts on Friday that will not only teach you what memory is and how the brain works, but give you a simple little 5 to 10 minute a day routine to keep your brain fresh and healthy and strong. And for more details on it, you want to click on the link that we put down below in the thread. So it's right down there. A lot of things that people hear with regard to the brain, Paula, include things like we only use 10% of our brain. Are you going to cover details like that?
Yes, I'm not specifically quoting that because I was told by some experts that that was actually flawed research. But I agree that we don't use all of our brain potential, and I'm going to give people clues and cues and tools to access more of your potential. So I'll give away one secret. So most people identify brain with the mind, and I often hear people say, and I want to do that, but my brain said that, or my brain did this. So I want to make, first of all, create a very clear delineation. Your brain is not your mind. Your mind is an outcome of what happens in your brain, but your brain is also not your mind. It's not what you're thinking. So the secret that I want to share with you, so, your brain is in the body, and the reason why people don't use the whole brain potential is because in our Western culture, we identified with thinking, and thinking is what makes you human, thinking what makes you special and different and better. But the most current neuroscience actually documents that thinking is an outcome of what happens in your brain, which is dispersed throughout your body. So the brain in the head is only a part of the brain, whole brain communication network. So that's the current neuroscience. I'm really happy that they came up with that, because in my field, we've been saying that and seeing results of that for many years. And now we have a scientific validation, and people who like to follow experts and have a lot of knowledge and facts and data, you can actually check it out. This is called embodied cognition, and it clearly says there are a number of neuroscientists who subscribe to that view, and it clearly says that the brain is in the body. So then if you engage your body in very specific targeted ways, you're going to get your brain going much better.
Excellent. So it's a whole brain and body connection. On my Facebook thread the other day, they had or yesterday, it was a big discussion between should we be in our heart or should we be in our head? And I guess from what you're saying, they're both connected, aren't they?
Absolutely. And you cannot be in your head unless you are fully also embodied. So I had an exercise with one of my clients the other day. She wanted to make a decision about something that had to do with her living space. And she was very, very confused and very anxious about making that decision. She didn't know which way to go. So I know that very often there is a conflict between head and heart, or head and the gut. So I had her identify what her head was saying. Her head was saying A, and then we focused on what gut was saying, and the gut was saying B. And then we had a whole dialogue going between head and gut until they came to the resolution. And the decision that she ultimately reached was the result of the agreement between those parts of her that allowed her to see the solution that was not visible in the beginning. She was no longer anxious. She said she was very peaceful, she was calm, and she was going to give it a try. And then, if that conflict arises again, because now she tried it and she discovered that there are some factors she did not account for in the beginning, we'll do it again. But this is an example of how they need to be in sync. And like one other tidbit is that thinking is an outcome of what happens in the rest of your brain. So if your brain is not working correctly, you may be thinking you are thinking, but it's actually not real thinking. It's a kind of a verbal translation of an emotion or a body state. And therefore, it's not going to lead to the correct decisions. So even though my system is very embodied and includes tapping into the body intelligence, but it also leads to much better and sharper mental faculties, because as I have observed so many times through my individual sessions and my group programs, that people think a lot more clearly and they make much better decisions once that connection is activated and used, so that they can use all of their brain to think clearly. So the side outcome of being more embodied is that your thinking actually is going to get a lot better.
All right, you're hearing it here. Think better, think clearer, come up with better decisions. As long as you sign up and take Paula's course, which starts on Friday, Brain Upgrade. Let's get your brain to 2.0. So this is a really important knowledge that you're not being taught in school. The media is certainly not cluing you in on how to use your brain, because they're dialing into how the public already knows how to use their brain. So Paula's got some methodologies that will create for you a daily mental hygiene program of 5 to 10 minutes a day. Really simple. If you'd like to be connected, I think the course is open to 8 people. Is that correct, Paula?
Yes, so it's open actually to 15 people, but 7 or 8 slots are already filled. So I'm only looking for 7 or 8 more people. And if you, our audience members, are interested, I'll be more than happy to give you more information. So follow Adam's instructions and click below, and we'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, that's right. You can click below, or if you want, you can use Paula's card, and you just text the word memory to 64600. That's right on your cell phone. 6460. Send the word memory, and you'll get all of Paula's information. So you'll be able to upgrade your brain, think clearer, make better decisions. And let me ask you, Paula, from your research and your experience, if somebody is thinking more clearly, more resolve in their decisions, does that help them feel better emotionally?
Yes, it definitely helps them feel better emotionally. They also make much better decisions. So let me give you a very recent example from one of my clients. I'm so proud of what happened. So this woman who just lost her job, and that was really maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago. And through whatever connection, she was referred to me. And she's a project manager, so she's very left brain and skeptical, but at the same time very emotional. She was extremely worried about her because she was going to lose her income. She had no money, and she has some financial obligations. She was hopeless and desperate. So after the first 2 sessions, she and her husband looked at their situation, made a completely life-changing decision that was going to ease their financial burdens. After one more session, they made another decision that was going to free them even further. After one more session, she had an obligation to complete a training program. She made a commitment to complete the training program by a certain date. And she said, you know, I'm not going to do it right now. I just have too much going on. I'll do it later on once we complete our transition. So, so this has all happened in a space of 4 weeks. And she said, I'm not anxious. I'm very peaceful. She looked 10 years younger. And they were just going about creating that transition that they came up with without feeling anxious, apprehensive, or what we started with, hopeless and desperate. So not only it makes you feel better emotionally, but like this is an example of how people make much better decisions. They discover opportunities that were not there. So I can't promise this will happen after this memory course, but you at least will get a head start, and you will have some of the tools to get your mind working better. Memory is part of the mind. And of course, you know, just as a reminder, your mind is in the body as well. So, but your mind will be working better, so your memory will be working better. So you'll be thinking more clearly, and then you'll be able to make better decisions as well.
Outstanding, outstanding. So you're hearing it right here from the creator of the course, Paula Oleska, and the course is Upgrade Your Brain. No, Brain Upgrade. Did I get that correct?
Yes, actually the method is called Brain Upgrade, and we can always say upgrade your brain, but the course actually specifically is called Memory Boosters for Baby Boomers.
Memory Boosters for Baby Boomers. Upgrade your brain. And it's not limited just to baby boomers. People from other generations as well can pop on board. The class starts on Friday. There's 7 or 8 positions left as of now. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely click the link below and get registered. Paula, if somebody does go ahead and make the commitment to be with you in the course, what could they expect?
So the structure of the course is that I'm going to be releasing 1 module per week. There are 5 modules, and the module will consist of 2, 3, or 4 short videos that will explain what we are going to be learning this week and why, and also some of the techniques that we mentioned earlier. And then you'll have a week to practice, and a week later we are going to have a live Q&A call with me on Zoom, and then you'll have a chance to get feedback, ask questions, give me feedback, and so on. So we'll go like that for 5 weeks, and at the end of the program, because this is a pilot, I've done these programs live, but this is the first time I'm doing it online, so I'm creating a pilot, and the pilot participants will be asked to give me a testimonial if it worked. Of course, if it didn't work, then you don't, but there's very little chance that it's not going to work if you actually do it. So at the end of the component of the program is that there's an expectation that participants will also give me testimonials about how the program worked for them. But the structure is very simple. Watch your videos, practice the exercises, like we already said, 5 to 10 minutes a day. Mark your progress in your very simple journal, which you can do on paper or online, and then show up to the Q&A calls, which will also be recorded. So if you happen to miss one, you will have a chance to listen to the recording. And also there's lifetime access. Once you have those videos, you will just have them for the rest of your life, and you can watch them anytime. And some participants from my previous program told me that they like to do that. They like to go back and watch those videos again to refresh the information and kind of remember what they need to do and why they need to do it.
Outstanding. So there you have it. The course starts on Friday. You'll have a huge discount because it's the first time that the course is being taught online. And so Paula's taking her live course, putting it online. It's going to be something that's going to help you think clearer, make better decisions. And if you apply the technique for 5 to 10 minutes a day, you're going to have improved memory and upgraded decisions. Thank you so much, Paula, for being on and sharing that, and inviting my audience to be a part of your course. Is there anything else that they should know about memory or their brain before we go?
So one more little thing about memory is that people think that memory is like one thing, but actually memory is dispersed throughout the different parts of your brain and body. So you have visual memory, auditory memory, and sensory memory. And if they are not coordinated, you may not be able to recall information the way you want it. So we'll be working on all of those circuits in the program to make sure they are synchronized, and you can read faster, remember what you read. You can keep your auditory focus if you're listening to recordings or conferences. Like when people listen to something and the eyes glaze over and kind of they lose track of what's being said. So there are exercises there to keep you attuned to what you hear. And there are other exercises to make sure that you also have your sensory recall as well. So so these are just some of the components we'll be covering in the class to make sure that different parts of memory work together and you can actually have what you want.
I want to make sure my brain's working right in this decision from what I just heard. So you may have a technique or something that you can do when, instead of memory recall, when you're hearing things for the first time, that you can focus, listen better, so it's easier to recall in the future.
Exactly. Yes, because this is another thing we're going to go into, that what people think is lack of memory actually is lack of focus, because if you're not paying attention, you're not going to remember. And so then people, when they can't recall something, they think it's a memory problem, but it started with an attention problem, and we'll be doing something about that also as a part of the program.
All right, you heard it here. You're not only going to learn how to recall better, but focus better. Use
Absolutely.
your brain better. So this is your opportunity. There's let's call it 8. There's 8 spots left in the program this week. Hit the link below. Go ahead. Paula, if anybody had any questions, can they text you or email you about it?
Yes, absolutely. You can text me at 646-554-3461. And if you text that absolutely phenomenal card that Adam created for this program for me, if you click text memory to 64600, I will get your contact and I can then get back to you, and we can I can give you whatever information you need to participate in the program, and I look forward to talking to you.
And that card's in the link below. It's got her number on it, so it's easy enough to text her right from the card. And if you like what she's doing, right on the card, you can push one button, share it with a friend, and that way you guys can take the course together. Final thing.
That's a wonderful idea. Thank you, Adam. First of all, thank you for setting up this magnificent card. I got really good feedback on it, but also this idea of sharing. So yes, it's set up, Adam set it up so you can share very, very easily. And I'd love for you to share that with your friends, family, and other people who are concerned about losing their sharpness and the edge as they are aging, or just as they are confused and stressed. So yes, please text me the way Adam said, memory to 64600, and then share with your friends, family, coworkers, and everybody else.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Paula. I'm looking forward to hearing feedback from everybody who takes the course and gets their brain so much sharper. It's been a wonderful privilege to have you on. And thank you for being part of the Adam Connects community.
Thank you, Adam. It's a privilege to be here. I'm so honored. Thank you for your invitation, and I look forward to interacting with your community.